Hey guys, this is Broheen here, working for 91 Extreme RT from the Gamer Emporium channel. Gonna talk to you now about Arbiter for Mage class guide for Arbiter, and we're gonna go tank some mobs somewhere. So first I'll go through the spec with you. It's 61 Arbiter, 10 Warlock, 5 Stormcaller, so fill up Arbiter. The 10 Warlock is going to be 5 in Magical Affinity, 5 in Vitality, and the 5 in Stormcaller is going to be 4 in High Voltage, and 1 in Storm Energy. So I'm going to show you macros right away because there's not much to this. So I have like a oops I lost threat macro and have to get it back ASAP type deal here. So this is the macro, you grab that out of the description box, put it on your bar. There's an area of effect spam, which is like your main spam for the spec for charge gain, and then you have a charge spam, which is just 3 abilities here that consume your charge. And let's see, there's swap, so that way if I have to switch between Arcane Ward and Frosted Ward, I can reduce my damage and healing done or increase it, but change the type of threat that I get. Or I can protect somebody and swap my toughness with another raid member. Or actually this one, yeah, there's one that swaps my toughness with a raid member, and then there's also one that, yeah, this one in the macro buffs the group of raid member, and if they get a killing blow, it applies a shield. So that's a little bit of a nice cooldown ability for us. Interrupts on the bar, and then there's a heal and a charge. So Soothing Waters is going to consume all your charge, and then Swirling Winds is going to gain all your charge back. But when you use Soothing Waters, when you use Swirling Winds, it increases the damage of all charge consuming abilities by 20%, so you can kind of tie those two together and consume your charge, or gain it then consume it, or consume it then gain it, and boost your damage with charge consumers, which is your second macro here. And you get mage shields as well. As you go past 75 charge or fall below 25, you gain shields. You get it for gaining full charge and losing complete charge. It's kind of a really interesting spec. So I mean, you definitely want tank gear for it. I'm using pretty much all T1 tank gear, and I've got 75.3k health. That's just with my buffs. So let's go out and tank some stuff, and I'll show you some of the utility. And where do we want to go? We'll go to out to steps, which is usually where I do all my dirty work. Now, I had someone complain in another video of mine for tanking that, the level 55 mobs they're not gonna do anything to me anyways. It's a different story when you're at 60. Well, really it's not, because you still have to tank them, and there's nobody else in this video to take threat away from me, so it doesn't really make a difference, does it? So obviously I'm gonna hold threat regardless of the mob. So now that that's all done and whatnot, you have a couple things you can do. You have Choking Flood, which is pull 1 enemy, and you have Icy Command, which is pull 5 enemies. You've got your Shared Agony buff, which is the toughness one I was talking about. You've got Shield of the North Wind, which is a full 100% shield. It's probably the best shield in the game. Let's see, Mana Aegis and Shield Surge are 2 other cooldowns for survival. You've got 1 taunt, 1 single target taunt, 1 AoE taunt. Icy Blast is a good, if you got a group in front of you and you hit them with Icy Blast repeatedly, it builds a lot of threat, so you're pretty much stuck with whatever mobs you hit there. Avalanche is a charge, so you can charge in at them, and that's really all that there really is for utility on this spec. So there's quite a bit of it, and the tanking it's really easy, guys. It's cake stuff. So I'm going to show you target, and then Shift F2 is my pull. And now we're going to spam to theoretically gain charge. Now we're going to consume it and gain it back with my macro here. I get a 20% buff, and I'm going to start using charge. which actually I'm going to use my Icy Blast because it's AoE. Now, as I go past 75 here, you'll see, boom, more shield. Now I can switch to single target and use it, and you'll see me get more shield when I drop below 25 charge. No, I didn't there. It must be on cooldown. There's more shield for going past 25, or going past 75, I mean, I'm sorry. And that's pretty much it as far as how the shields work. So basically what you saw is this is a big game of tug-of-war with your charge. So you always want to constantly, when it's full, you want to lose it, and when it's empty, you want to gain it. And you want it to go back and forth from 0 to 100, from 0 to 100, and keep those shields reapplying. So that's going to be the best source of damage mitigation for you. So now, you can just use 8 for your Icy Blast regardless of what you're fighting, or your charge consumer to start building threat. And now what happens with this threat macro that I made, it's going to cast Misdirection, which transfers all threat to me. It's like incrimination, but for myself. And it's going to make me... The Vortex is going to drop my cooldown of Jolting Wave to 0 for 5 seconds. So I get unlimited casts of Jolting Wave for 5 seconds. And that's going to grab a lot of threat. So now I'm barely taking any damage out here from these single target mobs because I'm constantly having a shield on myself, which is what makes the tanking so easy. So I don't think I have anything else left to talk to you about other than, just be aware when you're tanking and do a good job at it. Get some practice and some SLEs and see how it goes and see if you like it. Mage tanking is really easy to work with. The pulls you have to kind of get used to, but you still have threat. You still have AE threat and single target threat, just like any other tank. You still have pulls and charges like any other tank. It's more or less use these 2 macros and run your charge from 0 to 100 and back down to 0 over and over again, and you're pretty much good. So, on that note, now you guys know how to mage tank. We'll talk to y'all later on the next mage class vid. Thanks.